Hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV. Boys, we are 24 hours away from the time of this video being uploaded from the derby, from what is possibly, and agree with me or disagree with me if you want, the most competitive derby we've had in about 10-15 years. It's been a long time since Everton have beat Liverpool. I think it was 2010. I can't believe I still don't know that exact date of when Everton last beat us. Let me know in the comments down below, Liverpool and Everton fans. I know it was Tim Cahill and Mikel Arteta, but either way, look at the teams now, boys. The team difference is mad. And what is something that I've been offering to you since the Aston Villa loss. And what I've basically been saying is Liverpool need to lose that loss against Aston Villa and use that as fuel, and use the underdog factor, because Everton are first, and Jurgen Klopp, he should be saying to them, boys, yous are the 5th best team in England right now, because yous are 5th in the table. I don't give a fuck if it's 4 games in. Yous are the 5th best team in England, and you're facing the best team in England. At this current second, you can't take that away from Everton, the top of the league. So I'm not saying overall, but at this second in time, right now in the Premier League, they're the best team. No one can deny that. So I just want Liverpool to use that. And also, if you look at the odds, it's not just me who's saying let's use this as an underdog factor. Believe me, people are saying Everton are going to win this game. I went on the OneFootball app before and I looked at the predictions. I predicted Liverpool win, obviously. And it was 51% Everton, 43% Liverpool, and like 6% a draw. So Everton really are the favourites going into this game, boys. But this is my lineup and score prediction video for the Merseyside derby. Make sure that you're getting interactive in the comments below with all your starting 11s, with all your thoughts on my starting 11 prediction, and also your score predictions as well, going along with your scorers. Come on, boys. I like reading the comments. Make me feel confident, Reg. And if you're a blue, then just try and be fairly honest about how good your team is at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, starting 11 predictions. I'm going to do Liverpool starting 11 prediction. That will be the players who I think will start. I will say what I would like to change about the squad if there's anything that I don't like about what I think Jurgen Klopp will do. And then I'm also going to run through Everton's team, just very briefly, just what we should worry about, and then that'll be the end of the video. So let's get into it. So Liverpool first. Typical 4-3-3 formation. People ask me, how are we going to approach this game tactically? And the only answer to that is, people, I don't know. I don't know if the way we're going to line up is going to give a big factor away. We could start with a 4-3-3. We could start with a 4-2-3-1. It could go at many different ways with how the last game went. But anyway, I'm going to guess a 4-3-3. Adrian in goal. Let's be honest, mate. We've had the conversation. Kelleher, he's just not going to get his game. I've heard in reports that Marcelo Putalaga, our new 17-year-old goalkeeper, is looking brilliant in training. But be all and end all is he could be one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. We don't know about it. And to throw him into a derby, which it's a big game against Everton, and it's the most competitive derby in God knows how long. And if he makes a mistake in that game, then that's not ideal. It's not ideal because it kind of sets the tone for the rest of his career, and he'll be reminded of that moment, and it will add pressure. So Adrian in goal, back four consisting of Robbo, Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I feel like every Liverpool fan will agree with 3 or 4 of that back 5. The one that you might disagree with me on is the Fabinho thing. Now, remember, this is a lineup that I think will start, and my logistics into putting Fabinho centre-back. He's played well there once before this season against Chelsea. We know he was brilliant in that game. And with the fact Joe Gomez has been out of form, and I've been saying for a while, let's just give Joe Gomez a rest. Not to say to take him out the team forever and ever and ever, but just for now, just a couple of games. Let him rest, man, because you can see that he's just not at the top of his game. And maybe being pushed out the team just for a minute or two could give him that little kick up the arse that is necessary. So I don't think he'll start. I do think Klopp will drop Gomez. Joel Matip, also on Joel Matip, he's just came back. That's why I don't see Joel Matip start. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind to see Joel Matip start. I think he's a top centre-back when he's playing well. But it's just, for this game, against a team like Everton who've got so much momentum behind them, a team that they haven't really got many injuries, so they're going to be starting their usual first 11. I'd rather just go with players who've got minutes. You've saw how shaky we look with players who have got minutes of football. Let's not get players involved that haven't had much minutes this season, and Matip is one of them players. Hence why I think Fabinho is going to move into the centre-back, and then obviously the rest of me back four is the rest of me back four. So let me know your back 5 from the goalkeeper and the whole back defence line in the comments down below. Midfield, Number 6, boys, let's just brace ourselves because it is Thiago Alcantara is returning to the derby. You've heard it here first. You know what, mate? It's Thiago Alcantara. And by the way, I'm saying let's put him in the 6 because the way I want to set out my midfield is a DM and 2 centre mids sitting in front of him. And Thiago in that 6, we've only saw 45 minutes, but we've also saw, because I have been watching a lot of highlights from when he was at Bayern Munich, boys, what he's going to add to this team. I don't think we quite realise, like, do you know the level when Van Dijk came in and he elevated the team and the team looked better? It wasn't just defensively. And even James Rodriguez at Everton now, the way the whole team just looked better. I feel like Thiago could give us that factor. I really, really do, boys. And I feel like this could be the game where he could stand out, shine. Now, he hasn't had many minutes of football, but I feel like this is just a moment where Jurgen Klopp is going to need to put all that aside and just put what is one of the best midfielders in the world on that pitch against Everton, because that will make a difference. In front of him, Captain Hendog returns, in my opinion, and Gini Wijnaldum. I think that completes the midfield quite well. And don't get me wrong, this is for Everton fans, and I'm not just saying this as a Liverpool fan, but you should be a lot more worried about this starting 11 if this is the case. And there's still more bad news for you to come as well, but no, for that midfield, believe me, mate, you do not want to be playing that midfield. The Aston Villa midfield, I'd probably be going for a draw myself this game. But with that midfield, it's going to be difficult for Everton to control that. Like I said, I'm going to get into Everton's lineup, who I think will start for Everton in a minute as well. But then the front three, Mane, Firmino and Salah. And let me tell you a fun fact about that front three, if you don't know. But them three have never played all at once against Everton. Never have Everton had to face Mane, Roberto Firmino and Mohamed Salah all at once. How unreal is that when I give that fact to you? How lucky can Everton get? How lucky? You talk about these 0-0s, it's because we haven't got our full attack. Nah, I'm only messing. Obviously, there's more to it. But that's exciting for a Liverpool fan, for the Reds' point of view. I'm excited to see Mane, Firmino and Salah for the first time against the Blue Shite. Believe me, I'm very happy about that. So that's my predicted starting 11. Like I said, comments down below your ones. But then quickly running through who I think will start for Everton. I also think, by the way, Everton will go with the normal 4-3-3 that's been working for them all season. You know, why fix something that is not broken? That's what a lot of people are saying about Liverpool right now, but Liverpool change their style of play every year, whereas Everton, they're only 4 games into their new style of play, and look at how good it's doing for them. Anyway, Pickford in goal, Coleman right back. This is someone who was injured, but he's back now. That's huge for Everton, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. Keane and Yerry Mina is the centre-backs, and then Digne is the left-back, who, as we know, is a top-class left-back. Midfield, Decore is the DM, the number 6 sort of player. Allen and Gomez sitting in front of him. And then the front three, Richarlison on the left, Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the middle, and James Rodriguez on the right. Now, let me start off. I've said all week the key to victory in that starting 11 that I've put there for Everton, which is the starting 11 that I think will start and most likely will start because that looks like their best team. I've been saying all week the key to victory is shut out James Rodriguez. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments. But if you do disagree with me, let me tell you why. Everton have created about 13 chances per game this season. You might not get that many chances against us, but let's just say hypothetically they do. Over half of them chances are from James Rodriguez, whether he creates the shot himself or he assists the shot. That's how good he is. Everything goes through him. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's form, elevation, it's through James Rodriguez. This is why I compare James Rodriguez to Virgil van Dijk, because he's not just adding something to the team as a player, but he's elevating everyone else around him. Now, let me tell you about the Coleman point, and also Decore, and I'm leaving James in this conversation as well. Basically, these three have got a little system. Carlo has got these three into a little triangle. Do you know triangles, the way that you do them on the pitch and it splits open teams? That's what Everton have been doing with these three. Coleman, we know Coleman, even back in his days when, you know, everyone would boast about Everton getting him for 60 grand and he was linked with Chelsea for 60 million and Man United for 60 million. He was genuinely looking like he could have been the best right back in the world, but that is because he is one of the more modern day fullbacks, and he was one of the first people to be a modern day fullback, and that was being shown and displayed in the 13-14 season and stuff like that. Now he's coming more back into that role. You've probably noticed you don't hear as much about Coleman in recent years in terms of being linked with big clubs, but now he's back. Now he's fitting into that system more, and it's because when James Rodriguez, basically James Rodriguez is the link-up play. He's the plug that keeps everything together. And then Coleman will sometimes overlap Rodriguez, or he will go forwards with Rodriguez, and then that means Decore will come in and cover for Coleman. So if we shut out James Rodriguez, that system doesn't happen, and then all the stuff that happens with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's got 9 goals in 6 games in all competitions this season, insane. The way that we shut that out is don't get the ball into him. A lot of people, there's a big myth that Dominic Calvert-Lewin is this striker that runs in behind the defence. Maybe I'm wrong, let me know, Everton fans, does he do that often? But from what I watch, I see a goal poacher, which is just as good. I see more of a Harry Kane, Alan Shearer type player, but who is quicker because he has still got pace. But I don't think that's his specific style of play. I feel like Everton try and find him in the box, and that's what Liverpool are going to need to be aware of. Richarlison is on form, but Rodriguez is the one that we need to watch. No disrespect to players like Allen. He is also being someone who's changed this team completely this year. But I think if there was one player who I would want injured for this game, it would be James Rodriguez. And everything that I've just said there is the reasons why. Now, as for the score prediction, lads and lasses, it's a scary one, because I'm not scared because Everton are looking good now, believe me, I'm not. And one thing I think all of us Liverpool fans do need to establish, Everton being shit, that the days of that are just numbered. They're coming to an end, let's just be real. And I'm not sad about that, let me tell you why, because back in the 90s, thankfully I weren't born, but I was born in 2001, but in the 90s, Everton always beat Liverpool. Doesn't mean they're better overall, but they beat us in games. Whereas we have proven that we're better than them over the last 10 years in matches and in the league and stuff like that. So we've had our fun, and it did get to a point where it was just a bit like, oof. Do you know what I mean? It got a bit banterous at one point, and even losing to our under-9s last year, it's about time it gets a bit competitive again. Do you know what I mean, lad? Let Merseyside take over once more. Let it rule once more, because I'm all for that. So I'm going for a 2-1 win to Liverpool. A lot of people are saying a high-scoring game. I think the way I foresee it happening, it could be 1-1 for a long time in the game. Pretty much, this is like a typical Goodison-Liverpool derby, but I feel like this one is going to have a lot more chances. But funnily enough, the goals won't go in, even though both teams have shit goalkeepers. Believe me, I know my logistics to saying 2-1 is weird, but I do foresee it being a 2-1 win. I don't see us snotting them at Goodison unless they really go for it, in which we can then, counter-attack, which we do very well. But I'm saying 2-1 because I do think it could be 1-1 for like the first 60, 70 minutes. And then someone like a Jota or Narigi's going to come on and they could get the winning goal. But let me know in the comments down below, people, who you think. If I had to guess 2 scorers, I'll go with Firmino and I'll go with Jota to come on and score. I'm going to go with them 2, and then for Everton, we'll say Calvert-Lewin because he's on fire. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. Line-up prediction sorted, check. Score prediction, check. There's your bets to put on for this weekend as well, by the way, because I'm all right with predictions, but don't put it on me if you lose. Please don't put it on me if you lose. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. Bring on the fucking derby tomorrow, because it's going to be a big one. Let me know, are you worried? Are you worried about Everton now? Are you devastated that it is looking like the era of them being absolute dog shit is basically towards an end? I'm not that devastated about it, but obviously it was funny while it lasted. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Be sure you like and be sure you subscribe, and I will see you all in a bit. Ta-da.